Today I'll be reading and showing video evidence of the science behind manifestation and how it actually works. If you're interested to the full written post, it will be down below, as well as most of it in the description. And if you like content like this, please like and subscribe for more. I had to share this with you today. Greg Braden is very much a proponent of the notion that feeling is prayer, or as better known, feeling is the secret. Greg also mentions Neville often in his extremely excellent book, The Isaiah Effect. I cannot recommend this book enough. It is on another level to much of the New Age nonsense that's currently out there. Anyway, there's a passage that exhibits a lot of these characteristics, and I will mention those now. Consider the effects of prayer through a simple model. Over 50 years ago, in 1947, Dr. Hans Jenny developed a new science to explore the relationship between vibration and form. Through well-documented studies, Dr. Jenny demonstrated that vibration produces geometry. In other words, by creating vibration in a material that we see, a pattern of the vibration becomes visible in that medium. When we change the vibration, we change the pattern. When we return to the original vibration, the original pattern reappears. Through experiments conducted in a variety of substances, Dr. Jenny produced an amazing variety of geometric patterns, ranging from very complex to very simple, in such materials as water, oil, graphite, and sulfur powder. Each pattern was simply the visible form of an invisible force. The significance of these tests is that Dr. Jenny proved, beyond any doubt, that vibration causes a predictable pattern in the substance that it is projected into. Thought, feeling, and emotion are vibration. Just like the vibrations in Dr. Jenny's experiments, the vibration of thought, feeling, and emotion create a disturbance in the stuff that they are projected into. Rather than water, sulfur, and graphite, we project our vibrations into the refined substances of consciousness. Each has an effect. In Chapter 4, we discussed the signs that suggest that our future may already exist as one of the many possibilities dormant in the soup of creation. As we make new choices in our lives each day, we awaken new possibilities and fine-tune the eventual outcome. This view implies that each time we ask for something in prayer, a possibility exists where our prayer is already answered. If this view of our world is correct, then in the garage menagerie of my childhood, for each example, each shattered beak, torn limb, and broken bone was one possible outcome for any moment. In that same moment, another outcome existed where each animal in my care was already healed. Each outcome already existed. Each possibility was real. The key to choosing one outcome from many possible outcomes is our ability to feel as if our choice has already come to pass. From our previous definition of prayer as feeling, then stated another way, we are invited to find the quality of thought and emotion that produces such a feeling, living as if our prayer has already been answered. For how many we may benefit from the effect of our thought and emotion, if each pattern is moving in a random direction. If, on the other hand, the patterns of our prayers are focused into union, how can the stuff of creation fail to respond to our prayers? When thought, feeling, and motion are not aligned, each may be considered out of phase with the others. While there may be brief areas of overlap, much of the pattern is unfocused, working in different directions, independent of the rest of the pattern. The result is a scattering of energy. For example, if our thought is, I choose the perfect mate in my life, a pattern of energy is released that expresses that thought. Any feeling or emotion that is not in sync with our thought is incapable of empowering our choice of a perfect mate. If they are misaligned through feelings that we are not worthy of having such a perfect partner, or emotions of fear, our patterns may actually hinder our choice from becoming our outcome. In this non aligned state, we may find ourselves asking why our affirmations and prayers have not worked. Through these simple examples, it becomes clear why prayer brings about the greatest change when the elements of our prayer are used and aligned with one another. Without using the word prayer, and certainly in a less technical fashion, the idea of unifying thought, emotion, and feeling and living from the place of our heart's desire was offered early in this century using a very different language. Further affirming the use of our fifth mode of prayer, of assuming that our prayer has already happened, the work of Neville offers the following. You must abandon yourself mentally to your wish fulfilled in your love for that state, and in doing, live in a new state and no more from the old state. Though effective, Neville's description of our ability to change outcomes and choose new possibilities in our lives may have made little sense to the people of the earliest 20th century. As with so many thinkers whose ideas are ahead of their time, little was known about Neville's work until after his death in 1972. Understanding such as these allows us to view prayer as both a language and a philosophy, bridging the worlds of science and spirit. Just as other philosophies are expressed through unique words and specialized vocabularies, prayer has a vocabulary of its own in the silent language of feeling. Sometimes an idea that makes perfect sense to us in one language has very little meaning in another language that we are not familiar with. Still, the language exists. Thank you for listening, and if you enjoy this, please like and subscribe and share it with others. Thank you.